Hello everyone, Warren here again with the Peach State Prime channel, and it is a beautiful February morning here in Woodstock, Georgia. Currently at Dupree Park, which is a park I've been wanting to show off. I just haven't made it up here yet, and also wanted to do some channel updates today. It's been right at about a month since I started the channel, and have learned a lot, filmed a lot, and thought we could do kind of a walk and talk here at the park, also show off what it has to offer. So thanks for watching, and hope you'll stick around as we go for a walk around the park. So Dupree Park, I've been here one other time. That was actually for a scouting event, but it is a really nice big park here in Woodstock. As you can see, there's this rather large field you come in on. There is a backstop over there. I guess so you can do some baseball, kickball, what have you. And then one of the things they have here, and I showed this off in the Alatuna Dam video, and that is frisbee golf. It's a larger park here, but they have frisbee golf that runs all throughout it, including some very interesting goals or holes, whatever you call it. But over here you got some outside exercise equipment, which is something you don't have at a lot of parks, so it's kind of nice. And it's not just the you stand on something and bend over. These are actual workout machines. We're not going to try them out today, but like this one, you'd push forward, and looks like you're actually lifting yourself in this, so you're kind of your own counterweight there, instead of putting on additional weights. Then you got some other ones. This looks like the type you'd bring your arms together. And there is some resistance to it. So, you definitely get a good workout. Here's a leg lifter. And one of these that you'd pull up over your head. And we'll walk down here more toward the wooded area of the park. It is a gorgeous day. I don't see any clouds up there. It's about the high 50s, maybe around 60 degrees. So, don't even need a jacket right now. And we're coming up on one of the frisbee golf goals, hole stations. I'm not an expert. I'm not really sure what you call them. I really should look that up. If you know what they're called, please leave a comment in the comment section. And that way when I go to different parks and different areas, I'll know a little bit more of what I'm talking about, or at least act like it more convincingly. But so you got this one over here, and then I'll show you one of their interesting ones here. It's right next door. So you got this one here, and the fun thing about this one is, if you overshoot this thing, you're going down over this ridge here, possibly in that creek down there. But got the chains on it. Oh, okay, maybe I don't need those comments, because this is a Prodigy Disc professional disc golf basket. Okay, so apparently they are called baskets, but if you want to leave a comment about it, still feel free to do so. And then they do have some pickle and tennis ball courts we'll be coming up on. But this number 7, you see there's this really steep walkway. It goes down here into this bridge, and then way on the other side of the bridge is the basket. So lots of places where that frisbee can go, or that disc can go. Let's see if we can walk down here without dying. Okay, and thankfully they've installed this rope here you can use to hang on to. And ooh, this rebar right here is poking up. I'd really hate to trip and fall and land on that. You know, that seems like a good service project. If any scout or school groups or other community groups need something. Goodness, okay. If I was smart, I would put away the camera now. Okay, got my footing here. Okay, might have to take this at kind of a run. Let's see. Okay, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, thank goodness for this rope here. All right, and then we come down here to this bridge, which looks like it probably floods when, you know, this creek rises. Got that wonderful red clay hue to this creek, but, you know, still kind of peaceful down here. All right, and we're coming up on the actual, again, what we determined is called a basket. Basket number 7. And I have played that one before. Let me assure you, we're fishing discs out of the creek. So like I said, there are tennis and pickleball courts here. Whoa. Of course, I guess the danger's not over yet. The pickleball courts are busy as usual. No one wants to play tennis anymore thanks to pickleball, apparently. Right, and over here, we have a map of some of the, or actually of the whole park. See how large it is. We're up here in the recreational field, and looks like we came down over here on 7, so we just passed the courts, and that's Dupree Lake right over there. We'll go for a walk around it, and they also have basketball courts and a playground, and again, some different mountain bike and hiking trails here. So let's go explore some more. So as you probably saw, I have a cheat sheet for my channel updates, just because I don't want to forget anything. And you know, there's a lot I like to say, all good things. So looks like we're actually, let's see, we have this, get it in frame here, Lion Trail. Then we also have a Skills Trail. I think we're just going to go straight, because I believe those are the mountain biking paths. And we're going to go on this path here that says walking path only. Right? Man, that's weird to try to point that way. Anyways, so some channel updates. So first off, you know, like I said, I'm learning. YouTube is a fairly new thing to me. And, you know, I think I've improved with each video that's come out. But I do want to say, first off, thank you very much to everybody who has subscribed. That means a lot to me. And along those lines, an extra thank you to everybody who has watched any of my videos. You know, it means a lot. I mean, I'm not, you know, breaking the internet or anything, but, you know, it's early, and I don't know if, frankly, I'll ever get to that point, but it's still humbling. One of my videos actually has over 200 views. And that's, to me, that's amazing. I consider it good when I even hit 20 some or upwards of 50. So yeah, doing good so far. And you know, of course I started filming myself as went uphill, so I apologize. I'm a little out of breath. But of course, again, I just want to say thank you first of all. Second, one thing, you know, you probably noticed about my videos is the videos vary greatly in length. I have one that's like, I believe it's the Savage Pizza video. It's only like 5 minutes long, or, you know, five minutes and some change. And then you got my Atlanta BrickCon video, which is like an hour and 12. And really, you know, when I set out to do this, I didn't have one single length in mind. What I really wanted to do was just let the content kind of determine that length. So, you know, if all the decent footage out there is only 5 minutes, so be it. If I'm going to hit over an hour, but the content is solid, like the Atlanta BrickCon or the Marietta History Center being about an hour, then, you know, I'm going to leave them that way. And, you know, the views kind of determine it. I haven't really noticed any sort of trend with longer versus shorter videos doing well. And now I will keep it within reason. I don't have any intent on releasing any 2-hour-long videos or anything like that. Then another thing that I'm still working on are my thumbnails. You've probably noticed I've changed them a few times on some of my videos, trying to make the text pop or a better, you know, a better image to explain what the video's about. And I'm, again, still working on those, working out the kinks. I think they're getting better, and hopefully you'll agree. As far as filming, you know, as I said in the About Me video where I introduced myself, currently just filming using my iPhone, and so far it seems to be working pretty well. You know, eventually I may upgrade to another camera, but one thing I did buy, and I'll be honest, I just bought it for $5 at Five Below, is essentially a selfie stick. I'm using it right now. I use it more like a monopod than I do, you know, having it fully extended. I feel like it gives me a better grip and a better, smoother video. Again, hopefully you'll agree. If not, let me know. And then it also, you know, I can make it into a little tripod, which I've done for some of my home vlogging. And so that's been kind of an upgrade, small one. The other thing is the audio. So, you know, for the most part, the audio is working pretty well with my iPhone. However, I found that when I zoom in, sometimes it kind of gets muffled. A good example is in the Atlanta BrickCon video. I did a little bit of research, and it appears that if you change your iPhone setting from recording in stereo to mono, that it will not do that. You can zoom in and it won't muffle the audio. So I made that change with the previous video I made and then this one. So hopefully that helps to improve it. Otherwise, I'll just try to be more mindful about talking and zooming at the same time. As far as content, you know, one of my goals is to keep this channel entertaining and different, you know, not the same old thing day after day after day. So, or, you know, so you're not getting videos constantly of me just walking around old towns or parks or toy shops, antique stores, events. I like to try to change it up and do different things. So still going to continue to cover the same things, you know, events, unique stores, including collectible stores. And then, of course, attractions, local historical areas, and, you know, maybe a few special spotlights every now and again. check out my list here. And of course, you know, with the collecting, you know, that'll include any kind of nerd stuff, you know, if I want to highlight some of my collection and some of my interests. Again, just to help you guys get to know me a little bit more and show you something interesting, because that's really the purpose. I mean, travel's main goal of this channel, but you know, also want to be entertaining and, again, show you something completely different here and there. As far as my best and worst performing videos so far, I have to say the best videos have been my 2 event videos so far. That is, of course, the Atlanta BrickCon is leading in views. Lego's something that's very popular. And ironically, it is my longest video. So there again, I don't necessarily, you know, see a correlation of long videos not doing well on my channel. And then, of course, the Atlanta RV show, which was a moderate length. I think it was about a half hour long. That one has kind of taken off as well. And, of course, you know, again, thank you to those who have watched. Now, the worst performing video, and the one that's kind of surprised me, is the Marietta History Center. And at the time that I made it, I actually thought it was one of my best videos, or my best video to date. And I still feel it's pretty strong in terms of content. But for some reason, it's just not getting the views. I've tried changing that thumbnail about 4 different times. But what I do in that video is I go to the Marietta History Center, which is a museum in Marietta, Georgia. They have all sorts of cool stuff there. They have a big scouting display. Of course, they have stuff from the Civil War, Great Locomotive Chase. They have a big war section, including weapons and uniforms. And one of the things I show off in that video is they have a P. Walter 38 gun, or pistol, and which is the same gun that the original Megatron toy from Transformers was based on. And I was just kind of tickled to see that, and I kind of highlight that in that video. So, you know, if you have some time to kill, you know, maybe give that video some love, give it a view, and you know, I assure you, it's entertaining. You know, it's a good one. All right, and it looks like while I was yammering on with those first few updates, I got on one of the mountain bike trails. But it does bring us up to another one of the disc golf baskets. And this is a kind of a set of them that are interesting. So you have this one here. See, we'll go up to it. I've lost what number we're on. And then, zoom out a little bit. And then, yeah, I guess, yeah, we would have been coming around this trail here. So let's go down here closer to the lake. We'll be near some of these, and we'll do a few more updates here in a minute. And again, you know, certainly not a professional disc golfer. Does intrigue me though, especially when you have these courses that are in the woods and you know, present you with all sort of natural challenges. So I guess you would stand on this pad here. Let's do that. And I see the challenge here. You all see the challenge? Yep. You gotta go around this tree. And then we have the lake over here. It's a real pretty lake. And from my understanding, they do allow fishing here. I would check out their website, though, to be on the safe side, to know if you need to have a license or not. Now, when we were here attempting to play this with the scouts, we this hole here was kind of memorable. Again, you stood here, and then there's the basket. And, you know, we had a ledge over on the other side of the park. This one, you got a lake behind it. And yes, we were, whoa, root there. We were fishing Frisbees out of the lake. Okay, we're gonna work our way down to this bridge. So you have this little creek here feeding into the lake. And, you know, it's a beautiful park. Again, as with any trail, you just gotta watch out for all these roots. You probably keep seeing the camera lunge forward a little bit every now and again. That's my foot hitting the roots. And for those that don't know, I have flat feet. They're as flat as a board, no arch. And, you know, sometimes that makes hiking back in the woods a challenge, but I still enjoy it. And then here's another fun one. Disc golf, that is. So you have the pad here, and you see you got, you know, the creek, and then way over on the other side is the basket. Well, pretty neat. Here, we'll go across this bridge. Well, step down there. We'll go across this bridge. And see, I'm a sucker for a nice bridge back in the woods. Usually just so peaceful. Okay, and this looks like the Bear mountain biking trail coming up here. And looks like it intersects with the walking path. But I haven't seen any bikes, so I think we're fine. And then I know there's yet another one of the disc golf baskets up here. And this one also backs up directly to the lake. And again, resulted into... actually one of our leaders actually jumping into the lake to go get some of the Frisbees that you know, went over the boundary. Yep, and there it is, right behind this tree. Not as close to the lake as the one we saw on the other side of the bridge, but still a challenge. Now, as far as some, you know, personal updates, you know, as I said in my introduction video, unfortunately, the end of December ended my 17-year career with my previous employer. Still job hunting. You know, I applied on average, you know, maybe about 2 or 3 jobs a day. And, you know, I have job alerts set up with LinkedIn and, you know, sites along those lines. So nothing new to report there, unfortunately. So just using this time to, besides job hunt, you know, just try to improve, you know, some of my skills. And, you know, part of that's being done through trying to make these videos. And, but again, if you know anyone hiring in the risk management compliance space, or, you know, maybe even content creation like what I'm doing here on YouTube, that'd be great. And I mean, I can learn, obviously, just like anyone can learn new skills, even if it's not in those fields. So if you're looking for someone who's just a hard worker and someone who will be dedicated, by all means, feel free to contact me. I do have a Facebook page for Peach State Prime. I've set that up. You can also email me at peachstateprime@gmail.com. And it doesn't have to be for something job related, but if you ever have any questions about any of the videos or anything like that, besides the comment section, feel free to use that. As far as what's keeping me busy, of course, trying to make sure I have these videos out, do my best to try to release them every weekday, Monday through Friday. Gonna try to keep up with that. Sometimes there may be a day or two that I miss in between just due to other personal commitments, but we'll see if we can keep up that schedule. But of course the videos are something that's trying to keep me active, not just sitting on the couch. And then also scouts, and my family are something I'm still very much active with as well. As far as, other parts of me, I've been going through a bout of a lot of dental work right now. For those that are interested, I had a root canal at the end of the year last year, and then had one a couple weeks ago, a couple fillings. See, unfortunately, with the work schedule, I had kind of let, my regular dental appointments lapse, which is not something I recommend. And, let that be a lesson to everyone who isn't going to the dentist on a regular basis. I'm getting back on track. I'm doing what's needed, but, keep your regular cleanings. It's a lot easier and a lot less painful. Speaking of dental issues, want to give everybody a quick pet update. So you all met my pets. I have Tex, who's a miniature pinscher beagle mix. He's our dog. Again, he's about 13 years old, going on 14. So he's getting up there, and he's still active, especially when it comes to food and chances to eat. He'll be right there whenever someone has food. Then you have my two cats. You have Churro, who is our orange tabby. And then you have Moonpai, who's our gray and white cat. Who's also a tabby, just a little bit longer hair. Anyways, Moonpai and Churro had their vet visits recently. They're both doing great, except Moonpai, you might have seen it in it was the snowed in video, which really wasn't snow. It was just, it was our quote unquote snow day. But anyways, Moonpai has what's called a snaggletooth, which one of his front canine teeth is quite a bit longer than the other, and any other teeth that he has. And it's to the point to where it's actually out of the socket, and making his breath completely unbearable, to be honest. And he doesn't seem to be in a lot of pain, but the vet did say it needs to be removed, and we have an appointment to do that. The earliest they could work in a dental appointment was the end of March. So we'll be taking care of that then, and I'll make sure to keep everybody posted as far as his recovery, but we know he'll do great. As far as the rest of my family, they're all doing well, my wife and kids. In my introduction video, I know I made a comment that we didn't know how much of a role they'd play in the videos, and that's still being determined, for their preferences, and sometimes you have to consider safety. They have made a few more appearances. If you saw the videos I filmed in Duluth and Buford, that's the Atlanta BrickCon, the Japanese department store, Tessa Life, and the Mall of Georgia video. So they're starting to pop up a little bit more. And I know the kids are a little anxious to do so, but you know, I'm sure you'll be seeing a little bit more and more of them as time goes on. Okay, we had a squirrel peeking at us here. Let's see if we can get him on camera. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. He had an acorn in his mouth, so it was kind of cute. We have this nice pavilion over here. You know, I'm sure a lot of birthday parties have been done here, and a lot of other events, probably like family picnics, things like that. Whoop! Remember I told you about the roots. And we can go down here closer to the lake now. You can kind of see across the lake there's another pavilion, which is a little bit larger, and then a nice big playground. And I hear a lot of kids over at the playground, so we're not gonna go over there today. So I don't want to put anybody, you know, at unease, you know, with some random guy filming. Here's a good look at the lake here. It does look like you could have, you know, maybe some boats. I don't know if that's for county programs or, you know, things run by the government, or if you're allowed to bring your own. Again, I'd recommend consulting the website. And we got another Frisbee golf basket here, and yeah, that one, I don't remember this one, but if you miss that, even by just a little bit, you're going swimming. If you care that much about your disc, I should say that. And then I really like this boardwalk here, slash bridge, whatever you like to call it. We have a warning sign here, not to feed ducks bread, which is a shame. I mean, no. Let me rephrase that. You know, obviously, if bread's not good for ducks, don't feed it to them. But some of my best memories when I was like in preschool, I'd go to the park. This was back when I lived in Texas. And, you know, we'd go feed bread to the ducks in the park as an activity. And, you know, it's a shame it's not good for them. That was a great memory. And you can see some of the pickleball courts over here. No one's playing right now. And, of course, the tennis courts from this angle. Right, and it looks like we could actually go out on this floating dock. So you know we're going to. There's no sign I said not to. Now, of course, we're bouncing up and down. It definitely is a floating dock. Really cool, and you can see, I believe that might be a fountain there. Of course, it's off for the winter, but it's such a nice day. You wouldn't even know that it, you know, it wasn't winter. You know, it feels like spring out here. Of course, you know, that's the joy of living in Georgia. Oh, these are for fishing rods here, fishing rod holders. You know, as I've complained in some of my other videos, you know, it can feel like spring one day, then, you know, there's a blizzard predicted, then you're back to a day like today. That's why I think a lot of people get sick, you know, the extreme and abrupt changes in temperatures. So, you know, as I said before, this is also an updates video. So a couple things as far as what's coming to the channel. We do have, again, I just want to reiterate, you know, going to do my best to continue, especially while I am still job hunting. You know, going to try to continue to have the weekday upload schedule. That seems to be going well. If you'd prefer to have videos on the weekends, you know, let me know in the comments. But, you know, the goal is still to do 5 videos per week. Do have some special projects coming up that I'm happy to announce. The first one is I'm going to be doing, remember I said a few minutes ago about, you know, special highlight videos, you know, things of my interest and different hobbies. I have one of those coming up. It's a little bit different format. It's more of a home vlog versus, you know, going out and seeing something as far as a travel vlog. But, oh, this is, sorry, I'm sidetracked. I can see the reflection of the water in my phone here on my glasses. That's pretty cool. Anyways, sorry. But anyways, I'm going to be doing a special spotlight video, actually on an anime series. And there's a special reason I'm doing that. I'll say that for the video. And the anime series itself is one that's long overdue for a spotlight like this. And is one of those that often gets neglected, and I'll let you see the video to find out which one that is. But eagle-eyed viewers, in my introduction video, when I walked through and showed off some of my collection, specifically the where you saw a lot of the Funko Pops and other stuff, you may have seen some pieces of my collection from this series. So very excited about that video. Something I've been wanting to do in some format, and finally getting to do it. The next thing is, you know, the kids and my wife are going to be off of work and school next week. It is winter break. We have that here, at least in my part of Georgia. So we will be, for part of that, taking a road trip to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And I will be filming, I'm sure, a lot of the stuff we see and do there. So it's the first time I'm leaving kind of my home base since starting the YouTube channel. So I'm excited to see what all that brings. And which kind of brings me to my next point. We'll continue to, you know, I made a comment about videos being a certain length, and that's still going to hold true. I try not to cram too many different places into one video. So I don't really focus on making them, you know, a day in the life vlogs versus specific content. So what I'm saying is, if we hit maybe 3 different attractions in one day while we're on our trip, that'll probably be 3 different videos just to help break it up for your viewing more. Because the whole thing may not interest you, but part of it might. So that's kind of the intent and the plan going forward for that trip, and of course the future. And I have a few other trips planned, nothing I'm ready to announce quite yet. But I think that Myrtle Beach is going to be a lot of fun. And we have something extra special coming up on the way back from that trip. And won't give any hints about that yet. As far as other stuff I have planned, you know, as far as events, I know, again, my best 2 videos so far have been event-based, you know, the RV show and, of course, Atlanta BrickCon. You know, going to continue to go to events, cover them, especially since they're very popular videos. A lot of good content at those. You know, events just have to be going on, though, and, of course, work with my schedule. So, again, just to remind everybody, we are still in February. So, you know, while stuff is starting to, you know, begin, you know, there's usually more coming up in the spring, especially when it comes to outdoor events. So, you know, I'll try make it a special priority to hit those whenever possible when they're going on. And, you know, and again, I want to continue to try to keep things new and fresh. You know, I'll try some experimental stuff here and there. Like I made a comment about the anime spotlight video. You know, if that performs well, you know, I'll do more spotlights like that. You know, and I'll just keep an eye on it. But again, just staying new, fresh, and entertaining, because that's the goal of the channel, both for myself and hopefully for you, the viewers. You know, and that's really about all the updates I have right now. You know, I just want to continue to encourage everybody to please leave, comments in the video sections. If you have tips on how I can make these videos better, if you have questions about me or the content, or you just want to say hi, feel free. Or again, if you have some insight on the content, don't be shy. Kind of along those lines also, we're going to try growing this channel together. That's really the goal here too, is, I want to have fun making this content, but I want it to be something everybody enjoys as well. So, let's grow this thing together. You can leave the comments. You can follow me on Facebook, again, Peach State Prime, or, of course, feel free to email me even at peachstateprime@gmail.com. As far as collaborations, I'm still getting established, of course, but, if there's anyone out there that kind of follows the same mindset and type of content I do, I'd be open to collaborations. I know there's a lot more well-established YouTubers out there. Love to collaborate with them, just to, get the exposure and the experience. But, I know their schedules don't always allow for it. But if you're watching this and you create content as well, and if we could work it out and you're interested, by all means, drop me a line and we'll discuss it. But anyways, I want to thank you for watching this video of the lovely Dupree Park where we are, and again, Woodstock, Georgia. And just thank you very much for watching all the videos, and hopefully subscribing. Again, if you haven't, that's the best way to learn when I put out new videos and new projects. And of course, liking videos helps them get noticed by other people. So if you enjoy something, please do so. And of course, I said it before, I'll say it again, comments are always welcome. Anyways, again, thank you very much for watching this video itself. And, we'll continue to make up and coming videos of events, attractions, historical areas, unique stores, and everything in between in and around the Atlanta area. And again, coming soon, the Myrtle Beach area. And that's all I have for this video. I hope you have a great day, and God bless.